This podcast is a 98 Studios production.
Today's the day, baby.
Today's the day.
Today's the day.
Today's the motherfucking day.
Today is the day.
Today's the day.
Today is the day.
Today's the day.
What up, everybody? Welcome back to Today's the Day with Zack Andersen. We got another quick solo episode. I'm excited to chat with all you guys about my favorite topic on the planet Earth. And I'll probably say that multiple times, but this topic is life-changing, and the topic is sales. And I want to touch on a few things that I think are really important, but let me explain to you why I'm making this episode. So as most of you guys know that listen, door-to-door sales has been my entire professional career. I got into it right when I was 18 years old, and I've been extremely fortunate to be a part of it for a very long time with some of the best people to ever do it. And I hope to one day go and live up to the people that I've been lucky enough to learn from. That being said, sales was definitely not something I always wanted to do. It's not something I was comfortable with. And it frankly wasn't something I really understood the value in or what it even was for a long time. And as I've progressed in the door-to-door sales world, one of the least attractive occupations you can see from a surface level, I've gotten to go through and step into leadership roles and lead young people and recruit young people to sales and convince people it's worth their time to do sales. And you guys hear on my episodes all the time, me talking about how valuable I think a year of doing direct to home sales is. Cold call sales, like the truest, rawest, most pure form of sales, in my opinion, is door-to-door sales. And you guys hear that all the time, I'm sure, on these episodes. But what I've realized is in recruiting all these people, and I recruit from all over the country, I occasionally have the young adult themselves or even their parents reach out and be like, yo, what in the world is this? Like, why would I ever go have my kid go do door-to-door sales? Like, what's the benefit long-term of this? This is so beneath them. This is like, it's kind of like a very looked down upon occupation in a lot of ways. And I totally understand it. I empathize with that heavily. Because frankly, if I wasn't so heavily invested in the world, I also wouldn't understand the value in it. Now, sales, prior to me being in door-to-door, and a lot of people, when they think of sales, they think of, okay, car salesman, they think of phone salesman, they think of transacting in a retail environment where you go and you want to get the sales up in the retail environment, so you go do more sales or whatever it may be. And while all of that is true in the sense of that is transacting, sales, from what I've learned, sales is an art form. Sales is the lifeblood of the economy. And it might not be the traditional definition of sales, is what I believe it to be. But to me, sales make the world go round. And now, obviously, you can be listening and say, oh, dude, of course you're biased. That's your world, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, I could prove to you why I say that. And I would love to have the conversation with anybody. And I do have these conversations with very successful individuals that are wondering why their 18-year-old son or daughter is going to go ship out across the nation for 4 months and knock on doors. And I have these conversations. And I've also gotten to watch Todd Peterson have these conversations with people, and Brad Rossiter and Casey Bond, all of these greats to do it, have these conversations of, no, this is why it's something you should look at and consider. So first and foremost, let me go and tell you guys, in my opinion, why I say sales is an art form, what I think it is, and why I say it makes the world go round. And really what I think the purest form of sales is, to give you guys my definition, and why it's so valuable and why these people, it's such a good opportunity and such a good skill set, is because sales is the ability to go and relay an emotion from myself to somebody else in order to go and cause something to happen. Right? So what that could look like in a lot of different situations. In a very literal sense, and in sales, it's, okay, I'm very confident that this product would go and benefit you, and you're extremely unconfident. And my job is to go communicate in a way that conveys my emotion all the way over to you, to the point of getting something. The thing that happens is to get you to actually go and transact and purchase whatever it is I'm trying to go and sell. Right? And a good salesman is not somebody who goes in and convinces someone to transact, and then the next day they regret transacting. A good salesman, and when you're truly respecting the art form and approaching a sale with I think a pure mindset. A good salesman is somebody who goes and takes information and this incredible conviction, relays the information in such a simplistic way that the person receiving the information can understand it, all the way to the point that they feel that emotion, and they communicate everything that needs to be communicated. They answer every question with complete honesty. And the next day or the next week or the next month, the buyer has nothing but great things to say about the experience, so on and so forth, the product, everything. But most importantly, right, the sales rep and how it was delivered. Because if you're selling a product, especially if you're in the tech world or anything like that, there's a very good chance the product you sell has issues, and that's totally fine. That's expected. It's going to happen. But your job there as the sales rep is to make sure that buyer is taken care of until exactly as you described it, it's delivered, in my opinion. That's what sales is. So why is sales so valuable then? If that's what sales is, why is it so valuable? And why do I think, in my opinion, if you can go develop the skill set of sales, you will never struggle for money, and there will always be an opportunity for you to go be financially set in life. Why do I believe that? And it's really simple. And Casey Ball always used to tell the story back when he started doing sales. And I would argue it's very, very similar for myself and anyone getting into it. When I was getting into sales, my worth, my human life value was $8.50 an hour, right? That's what I was being paid hourly at one of my jobs, and the other one I was being paid $8 an hour. Those are my two jobs that I had finishing up through high school. That's how much I was making an hour in my two jobs. That was my human life value. And to get those jobs, I had to go interview and beat out 15 other high school students that were trying to go get those jobs, right? And none of us really had a resume or whatever it may be. That's just what it was. So we were competing for these jobs that were paying X amount an hour. And that was my human life value. When I got into sales, nothing determined my human life value except how good I could get and how hard I could work. There was literally no ceiling. So I got to the point where I sit right now, I'm absolutely confident through and through, based off of data and what I've already done, that in 6 months of work, right? If I lost my job, if I lost my title, if I lost my job, if I lost everything that I have right now, my house, my money, everything, I am so confident based off of data that there's multiple places I could go work for 6 months out of the year. And with the skill set that I've developed, I could go and pad my pockets and go make $250,000 with zero question in my mind, have that in my bank account and be safe. That is what the skill set can do. That is why it's so valuable, right? And to me, in my opinion, and my perspective and my experience, that's the value that comes from that's the value that comes from the actual skill set. But even more importantly, the confidence and the certainty that comes from knowing that after you've done it is incredible, because then you can go take the risks. Then you can go and do the big things in life. Then you can go bet on yourself, right? Then you can go and live kind of without that fear that you're going to end up in a situation that's far worse than you could imagine. It's going to ruin your life if you go take risk. It gives you the confidence to go do what you actually want to do. So sales to me is, again, one of the most life-changing topics, one of the most important topics, one of my most favorite topics. And I think it's one of the topics that gets misunderstood the most and overlooked as well. So I understand where the speculation towards sales comes from, and the sleazy salesman and the dishonest, because there are those people out there. And I challenge you, if you're in sales, don't go be one of those people. Do your very best to go and walk the straight line and do things how you should, and be honest. Most importantly, first and foremost, go be honest in your dealings. And then honestly give the art form the respect that it deserves. I think that's incredibly important. This art form has been around since the beginning of time. Like, sales has happened since before money was even around, right? And finding a way to create transactions, that's what makes the world go round. That's how people were supplied with food and everything else since the beginning of civilization, right? And if there's any of you that are curious on where like this like deep rooted respect and love for the art form of sales comes from, because that might seem super preachy and like over the top, The Greatest Salesman in the World like changed my life. I read that book, and when I read that book, I still get chills. It's an amazing book. It teaches some amazing principles, but also it goes and gives you a deeper understanding of what sales is. I think if you are in sales, not only should you read that book, You should have your significant other read that book. You should have your parents read that book. You should have anyone who has any influence over you or is close to you in your life read that book. And I think they'll have a very newfound respect for your profession, because it is a profession and it should be one of the most respectable, if not the most respectable professions out there. So again, I love all of you guys. I love sales. I'm a diehard. If you've never done sales, reach out. I got you. We got a spot. Or reach out to anyone you know who does sales. Like, don't come work with me because you see the podcast. Go find a situation for you that works and go and do sales. I have family members that sell with other companies, other teams that are really good situations for them. And some of my best friends that work for other companies. And I'm super happy for them. And I support them entirely because I know how valuable that experience can be. So I challenge everybody, go and learn about it at the very least. Go and read the book. And if you are in sales, go give it the respect it deserves. Go pay the piper and go master the art form. It is an art form. It's not a science. Anybody can do it, and you can do it a million different ways. There's no right or wrong way. So go and give it the respect it deserves. So I love all of you guys. I love sales. And as always, until next time, much love. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. As always, it was a blast for me. I hope you got something out of this. If you got something out of this video of value, share this with a friend, and please go show your love. We're on all streaming platforms, including YouTube, Spotify, and Apple. Any ratings, comments, likes, shares, they go a very long way, and they make it so I can keep doing these things for you, and I would appreciate it greatly. So please go share with a friend. Until next time.